Heart, love can be one of the most confusing things in the world. Sometimes you look at someone and you feel it, that pull, that deep connection, heart, that quiet energy that tells you there's something real between you. But then you meet someone who doesn't show it the way you expect. Heart, someone who feels deeply but doesn't always say it. Someone who loves you but at the same time keeps pulling away. That's what we call an avoidant. And understanding them, that's a journey in itself. An avoidant is someone who has learned to survive by not depending on anyone. Maybe they grew up in a world where love wasn't safe, where closeness meant pain, where trust was a risk they couldn't afford. So now, heart, when they feel something real, when they meet someone who actually touches their soul, it scares them. They start to back off, heart, not because they don't care, but because they care too much. Their heart tells them this person could hurt you, and their mind says, heart, run before they do. So when an avoidant really loves you, it doesn't always look like what movies show. It's not constant affection, heart, it's not nonstop communication, and it's definitely not easy to read. Heart, but if you pay attention, if you look closely, you'll see the truth hiding behind those walls. When an avoidant really loves you, they start to try. Heart, and for them, trying is everything. It may look small from the outside, but it's monumental for them. When they text you first, heart. When they show up even after disappearing for a while, heart. When they tell you something personal that you know they didn't tell anyone else. That's their way of saying, I trust you. It may not come with flowers or poetry, but it's just as powerful. Because for an avoidant, vulnerability is love. Heart. If they let you see their fears, their flaws, their past, that's love. That's them handing you a key to a room they've kept locked for years. Now, heart, you have to understand something important. Avoidants aren't heartless, they're guarded. They want love just as much as anyone else, heart, but they've learned to hide that want behind independence. They'll say, I'm fine on my own, but what they really mean is, heart, I'm scared to need someone again. They'll say, I don't like talking about feelings, but deep down, their heart is craving connection. Heart, they just don't know how to open that door without feeling exposed. So when you see them do things like checking on you quietly, heart, remembering small details you mentioned, or staying by your side in silence, that's love in their language, heart. They may not say, I love you all the time, but you'll feel it in the way they care when they think you're not looking. Heart. Avoidants have this push and pull dance they do with love. They come close, then pull away. They open up, then shut down. Heart. And if you don't understand what's happening, you might think they don't care at all. But the truth is, the closer they get to you, heart, the scarier it feels for them. Because real love reminds them of what they've lost before. It pokes at the pain they've been running from, heart. When they start to feel attached, their old defense mechanisms kick in. They pull away, not to punish you, but to protect themselves, heart. But here's the thing, if they come back, if they always find their way back to you, that's love. Because avoidants don't chase comfort, heart. They chase safety. And if they see safety in you, if they feel peace in your presence, that's when you know they really love you, heart. When an avoidant really loves you, they'll do things that surprise even them. They'll compromise, they'll communicate, heart, they'll start to show affection in ways they never thought they could. It might take time. It might be clumsy, heart, but love has a funny way of melting walls that once seemed unbreakable. You'll notice them doing things like wanting to spend more time with you, heart, asking about your day, showing interest in your dreams. They'll start imagining a future with you, even if they don't say it out loud, heart. Because for someone who's used to standing alone, allowing another person into their world is the most intimate thing they can do. Heart, and don't mistake their silence for indifference. Sometimes when an avoidant goes quiet, heart, it's because they're processing emotions they don't fully understand yet. Love for them is confusing. It's both comfort and chaos, heart. They might pull away when they feel overwhelmed, but deep down, they're trying to make sense of it all. So, heart, if you're with someone who has that avoidant nature, patience is key. You can't rush trust. You can't demand openness. Heart, You have to earn it through consistency and compassion. When they see that your love doesn't disappear when they retreat, heart. When they realize that your presence isn't conditional, that's when their heart starts to relax. Here's the most beautiful part. When an avoidant truly falls in love, they start to heal. Love becomes the medicine they didn't know they needed. Heart. It teaches them that closeness doesn't have to hurt. That vulnerability doesn't have to mean rejection. Heart. That being loved doesn't mean being controlled. Slowly, their fear begins to fade, replaced by gratitude. They start to see that love isn't a trap. Heart. It's freedom. And when they reach that point, you'll see a version of them no one else has ever seen. They'll start showing affection more openly. Heart. They'll say the words they once avoided. They'll let their walls fall piece by piece because you've shown them that love can be safe. But make no mistake, loving an avoidant isn't easy. It takes patience, strength, and emotional maturity. You have to be secure in yourself, heart, because sometimes they'll test your love without even realizing it. They'll withdraw to see if you'll chase, heart. They'll act distant to see if you'll stay, not because they're playing games, but because they've been hurt before, heart. They're testing to see if you're real. And if you stay steady through their storms, they'll give you a loyalty that runs deep, heart. Because once an avoidant feels safe, they don't take it for granted. When they really love you, they'll start letting you see their soft side, heart. That's when they'll share their childhood stories, their insecurities, their failures. You'll see tears they never let anyone else see, heart. You'll hear words they never thought they'd say. That's not weakness. That's trust. When an avoidant lets you that close, heart, it's because they've decided you're worth the risk. They're saying, I've spent my life building walls, but for you, heart, I'll build a door. That's what real love looks like for them, not grand gestures, but quiet courage. And let me tell you something, when an avoidant loves you, they'll protect you fiercely. They might not always say, I love you, in words, heart, but they'll show it in actions. They'll stand up for you when you're not around. They'll worry about your safety, heart. They'll do little things that make your life easier, even if they pretend it's no big deal. That's their way of saying, heart, you matter to me. Love changes them. It turns fear into action, distance into devotion. When you love someone who's avoidant, heart, remember this, your consistency becomes their comfort. Every time you show up, every time you listen instead of judge, heart. Every time you love them without trying to fix them, you're teaching them what real love feels like. Heart, you're rewriting the story they believed about love being dangerous. You're showing them that love can be patient, kind, and steady. That's powerful. Heart, that's healing. Now, some people will say, why should I wait for someone who's emotionally distant? And that's a fair question. But the truth is, everyone loves differently. Some people love loudly, others love quietly. Some show it right away, others need time to grow into it. But when an avoidant truly chooses you, when they drop their defenses, open their heart and let you in, it's the purest form of love there is, heart. Because they had to fight their own fears to get there. They had to unlearn survival just to love you. And that's not something small. That's sacred. Heart. There's something incredibly powerful about watching an avoidant person fall in love. You can see their transformation. Heart. The same person who once said, I don't do emotions, starts to care deeply. The same one who said, I don't need anyone, starts needing you. Heart. That's not manipulation. That's growth. That's love doing what love does best, healing what's broken. When they love you, heart, they'll start to communicate more, not because they've suddenly become talkative, but because they don't want to lose you to silence. Heart. They'll start to plan things with you, not because they've turned romantic overnight, but because they want you in their future. They'll apologize when they mess up, not because they've changed instantly, but because they value the connection enough to try. Every small gesture, heart. Every attempt, they all mean something. And remember, an avoidance love may not look like anyone else's, but that doesn't make it less real. Heart. It's just quieter, deeper, more gradual. They may not flood you with words, but their actions will speak volumes. They'll be there when it matters. Heart. They'll show up when you need them most. They'll love you in a way that feels safe, grounded, and enduring. When an avoidant truly loves you, heart, you'll feel it in their presence, even in silence. You'll see it in how they soften when they look at you. You'll notice how they start choosing you heart day after day despite their fears. And that's what makes their love so profound. It's chosen love, not easy love, not convenient love, but love that fought through fear to reach you. You ever been with somebody who pulls away just when you start to get close? One day they're warm, heart, affectionate, smiling like you're the only person on this earth. And the next, they're quiet, distant, heart, acting like nothing ever happened between you. You start questioning yourself, wondering what you did wrong. You replay conversations, you analyze texts. Heart, you even convince yourself that maybe they never cared at all. Heart, but here's the truth most people never understand. When someone who avoids love starts showing you any sign of emotional openness, you're not just seeing affection, you're witnessing courage. You're watching someone fight their own nature just to stay connected to you. Heart. And that right there, that's love, the kind that doesn't always look like romance, but it's real, raw, and rare. Heart. Avoidant people don't fall in love the way others do. They've been through something that taught them that love isn't safe. Heart. Maybe they had someone who promised forever and left anyway. Heart, maybe they grew up feeling like love always came with conditions, that they had to be perfect to earn affection. Heart, that they had to hide their feelings to survive. So now when they meet someone who stirs something deep inside them, heart, their first instinct isn't to run toward it, it's to pull back. Because for them, closeness feels dangerous. Intimacy feels like surrender. Heart. And surrender is something they've promised themselves they'll never do again. But when that avoidant person, heart, the one who's mastered the art of self-protection, starts doing this, starts letting you in, you better believe it's real. Heart. When an avoidant loves you, they won't always say it right away. Words aren't their thing. What they'll do instead is show up in small, careful ways. Heart. They'll remember the things you said offhand, your favorite snack, the song that makes you smile, the way you like your coffee. Heart. They'll act like they're not paying attention, but they are. Because they're studying you. Heart. Not in a manipulative way, but because they're trying to learn how to love without losing themselves. When they care about you, heart, they'll make an effort to understand what makes you happy, even if they don't know how to express their own feelings. Heart. That's how you know you're getting through to them. It's not in the grand gestures. It's in the quiet consistency that breaks through their fear. Heart. An avoidant person deep down wants connection just like anyone else. They just don't trust it. Heart. So if you ever notice that they start reaching out more, sending a good morning text, asking how your day was, heart, sharing something personal, that's not small. That's monumental. Because for them, that's vulnerability. They're taking a step outside their armor, and that's not easy. Heart. When they start including you in their routines, maybe they start saving time for you in their day, or they invite you into their personal space. Heart. Or they talk about their dreams, their worries, their past. That's love right there. That's them saying, heart, I trust you enough to see the parts of me I don't show anyone else. And that's something sacred. Heart, because people who avoid love don't do that for just anyone. They do it when they feel something real. Heart. Let me tell you something. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, awkward, hesitant. Sometimes it's wrapped in uncertainty and fear. But the presence of fear doesn't mean love isn't there. In fact, it often means the opposite. Fear shows up when something matters. And for avoidance, how to love matters too much. It's the one thing they want and the one thing they're scared of losing. So if they start to open up, even just a little, heart, understand how big that is. When they text you after a fight instead of disappearing, that's love. Heart, when they apologize even clumsily, that's love. When they sit beside you in silence instead of walking away, that's love. Heart, when they do something they swore they'd never do, just because it makes you feel cared for, that's love in its purest, most fragile form. Heart, You have to realize avoidant people are not cold. They're not emotionless. They're guarded. There's a difference. They've built walls, heart, not because they don't want to be seen, but because they're terrified of being seen and rejected again. Heart. So when they start taking those walls down, even brick by brick, they're giving you something precious. They're giving you trust. Heart. They're giving you access to their heart, the same heart they swore they'd protect at all costs. And that's the thing about avoidance. Heart. When they love you, it's not impulsive. It's intentional. It's slow, deliberate, and often hidden beneath layers of silence. Heart. But once they love you, truly love you, they don't unlove easily. They might pull back. They might need space, but they never stop caring. Heart. They just care differently. And here's where most people go wrong. They take that distance personally. They think, oh, heart, they don't text as much anymore. They must be losing interest. But no, sometimes that space is how they process their feelings. Heart, it's how they manage their anxiety about being close. When an avoidant takes time alone, they're not always trying to escape you. Heart. Sometimes they're trying to protect the connection. They're recalibrating, trying to find a balance between their fear and their desire to love you. Heart. It doesn't mean they don't care. It means they care so much that it overwhelms them. Heart. And when they come back, because they always come back when it's real, they'll come back with more understanding, more calm. Heart. More capacity to love you better. When you're with someone like that, patience is your greatest strength. You can't rush an avoidant into love. Heart. You can't force them to open up before they're ready. Love that's rushed becomes fear. Love that's patient becomes healing. Heart. If you want to know whether an avoidant truly loves you, look at the ways they fight against their own patterns for you. Heart. When someone who's afraid of attachment starts to stay a little longer, starts to choose you even when it's uncomfortable, heart, starts to reach out when they'd rather run, that's not weakness. That's bravery, because love for them isn't easy. It's not natural. Heart. It's something they have to learn to trust again. And I'm going to tell you something. Love doesn't heal people through perfection. Heart. It heals through consistency. You don't have to fix an avoidant. You're not their therapist. You don't have to chase them or prove your worth. Heart. You just have to be genuine. Be kind. Be steady. Because the right person won't always be ready for love, but they'll recognize it when it's real. They'll feel your patience. They'll notice that you don't punish them for their distance. And little by little, heart, they'll start to associate closeness with safety, not fear. That's when they'll love you fully. Not from a place of survival, but from a place of choice. Now, don't get it twisted. Loving an avoidant doesn't mean tolerating emotional neglect. You still deserve effort, heart, communication, honesty. But understanding how they show love helps you see the truth behind their actions. Heart, because an avoidant who truly loves you will try. They'll break their own habits for you. They'll risk discomfort to keep you around. They'll say, heart, I'm not good at this, but I'm trying. They'll mess up, but they'll come back. And every time they do, heart, that's their heart speaking louder than their fear. Real love, especially from someone who's afraid of it, doesn't look like the movies. Heart, it looks like slow progress. It looks like, I'm sorry. It looks like showing up even when they're scared. It looks like admitting, hi, I need a little time, but I don't want to lose you. That's the kind of love that doesn't fade because it's built on growth, heart, not performance. It's built on learning how to stay, not how to impress. And when someone like that chooses to stay, when they choose to trust, heart, that's the deepest kind of love there is. If you're with an avoidant and you see these changes, don't take them for granted. Heart, understand that you're witnessing healing in motion. You're watching love fight its way through fear. Heart, you're seeing someone rewrite their story just to keep you in it. That's not easy, and it's not common. But it's real, and if you can love them through it, not by losing yourself, but by staying steady, you'll experience a kind of love that's not just romantic, heart, but redemptive. Because helping someone learn to love again doesn't just change them. It changes you. It teaches you patience, compassion, Heart, and what it really means to love without fear. Love is never about perfection. It's about two imperfect people choosing to stay when it's hard. Heart. And if an avoidant chooses to try, to grow, to communicate, that's the most honest declaration of love you'll ever get. They may not say, I love you every day. They may not be overly expressive. Heart. But their love shows in the moments when they let you see the parts of them they've hidden from everyone else. Their love shows when they fight the urge to run and instead decide to stay. Their love shows when they choose you again and again, heart, even when it scares them. Because the truth is, love isn't proven by how fearless someone is. It's proven by what they do despite their fear. So if an avoidant reaches out, opens up, apologizes, or chooses you when it would be easier to walk away, believe them. That's not just affection. That's transformation. That's love. Conclusion at the end of the day, heart. If an avoidant person starts breaking their patterns for you, if they show up, communicate, try, or let you in, that's not weakness, heart. That's the purest form of love. Because it takes more strength to face your fears than to hide behind them. Heart. When they choose to love you in spite of their fear, that's not just love, that's healing. That's someone rewriting their story with you in it. Heart. And there's nothing more powerful, more real, or more beautiful than that.